This explains some things.
Was it written by somebody German? Goes moin moin. That sounds like somebody saying
Can we back up the
morgen,
camera maybe a little bit?
with
Yeah? You want to go back?
Yeah, just
a
back
really
it up
hard
so
morning.
But
Is there an Ubuntu on your
you're
application?
Oh.
you're in there.
Ah,
It is Benjamin. It is no wait.
We have
Thomas, you gotta scoot in.
Yeah, Thomas, you need to.
Come close to me.
He's not fighting. Most of the time.
So do we need to
He
explain?
wants to show that
what it is we're up
he's
to at the
apart from the
moment.
pack.
Rather, it's very dark.
I am hiding in the abyss. That's
I
what's
wonder
happening.
if it would be better to light this actually because
Sure.
it's.
How do we turn them on?
I will try turning
I
them
mean,
off
Video
and on
really
again.
looks like the council will decide your fate.
If
The council will decide your fate.
if we switch the two Simons around, we would have a nice slope
Is this
of heads.
is this for an anonymous applicant who is going to be not on camera?
We'll give you the mic so it'll be audio, I think, for you.
And we'll get some light behind him so we just see a shadow.
Does anybody have a device that you can check their bunch on your channel and tell me if it is in fact
Yeah, what's the
On
link?
air?
it is live?
Oh, no, what's the link? I don't have it.
It's just Ubuntu on Air's YouTube channel.
Yeah, by Sunday.
Second. I think it looks like recording, but I just.
But there are 2 million viewers. So.
Yeah, it says we're live. Let's see if it's
And it's
working.
live from
Yep.
Yes, it
we're
is.
Okay.
With maybe 10 seconds of lag.
Yeah, it's like 10 seconds behind real time. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome. This is the Developer Membership Board meeting. We're holding this at Ubuntu Summit 2024. I'll just go around, have every one of the current members introduce themselves. I'm Simon Quigley. My username is TSimonQ2.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Drunk. My username is BDrunk. Not to mix up with Be Drunk.
I'm Robbie Bassak and I'm R Bassak.
Simon Chopin, I'm S. Chopin.
I'm Thomas Ward. I'm T.E. Ward. And there's another person here who's hiding away from the camera.
Hello, I'm Lena Wojtek, L. Wojtek.
Hi, I'm. Oh. Hi, I'm Sudeep. I'm the applicant over here. My IRC also Sudeep.
So we are currently going to review an application for core developer for SUDIP. So we'll go through. SUDIP, I'll actually have you take the mic back and sort of introduce yourself. Give any details about your application that you think we might know, might want to know, and we'll go from there.
For my introduction, I am a kernel engineer and working at CodeThink. I have been a Debian developer for almost like 5-6 years now, and I am MO2 since, from this year, May or June, something like that. And mostly I like fixing bugs in Ubuntu, and that's how I started.
Would anyone like to ask the first question for SUDIP?
Well, before asking a question, I just want to convey that I've had so there on Sudip's wiki page there's a section for endorsements. So right now that section is empty because we've actually had endorsements given to us live during the summit by other core developers. So one of them was given to me by Graham Ings. He basically said, yeah, I haven't written anything, but check the Motu application where he already gave a speech. So I think Lena was planning on doing an endorsement. So if you might want to quickly explain why you endorsed Sudip.
Sure. Yeah, I endorsed him for Motu back in the day. I've done quite a few uploads for him of just various packages. And yeah, all his packaging has been like amazing. It's some of the easiest to review, upload, sponsor. It's great. So like, I think my endorsement kind of continues on to core dev because it's just really good.
Mattia, would you like to? There's a comment on the application, and Mattia is here. Would you like to sort of read your comment out?
Yes, I can read it. I've known Sudip for many years, more than 5 at least. When I started pretty much mentoring him in Debian. I consider him a person taking his job as an Ubuntu developer very seriously, who knows what he's doing and when to do what he does. So not out of time. He completely deserves being a core dev member.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Sudip?
I do. So let's say you find a bug in systemd. You actually have a patch for it. How would you go? How would you navigate getting that patch in systemd using in Ubuntu, not going through Debian, but like we are frozen. You want to get that patch in the next release. So how would you go about getting it in?
If it is, if it is frozen, then it has to go through the feature freeze exceptions. So I need to have the deb diff, and we should be attached to a bug report, and the bug should be assigned to the release team. So they will then review, and if it is approved, only then it can be uploaded.
So if you have that patch, systemd is a package that have many reverse dependencies. So would you try to get in touch with people that regularly work on systemd, and if so, how would you identify them and get in touch with them?
Yes, definitely. My first step there will be to talk with everyone over there in Ubuntu Devil, and I will prefer if the people who are working on systemd or those core packages, they do the upload and they fix it instead of doing it all by myself.
Could you explain the difference between UI freeze and feature freeze?
So yeah, okay. So feature freeze is when the Debian import freezes, and so anything which has been in the main, and those things should go via feature freeze exception from the release team. And for the UI freeze, it will be at least the documentation says anything with the user interface should not be changed. The appearance of the desktop and the distribution specific artwork, those things are all frozen. So those things should not be changed.
You have any other questions?
I'll have some.
Okay.
I'm not used to this. And in part, I've just realised that I can't look back at what you said. So just scroll up.
That's what I said, that asking for this was a mistake, I think.
Not necessarily a bad thing for you.
Also, there is no back channel.
Can you tell me what a seed is?
Seed is normally a list of packages which are going. Oh, sorry, right, right, obviously. Sorry. So seed is a list of packages which are will be installed in the installer, the Ubuntu installer image that will be released as part of the release. It's basically a list of packages.
Okay. How do you look up if a given package you're about to upload is seeded, and how might that change your decision making about making that upload?
There's a utility called seeded in Ubuntu. Let me check. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So seeded in Ubuntu that will give me if that particular package is seeded or not. If it is seeded, then it has to go via release team, all the exceptions and everything. And but if there is a feature freeze, and even if it is seeded, then I have to see if the upload can trigger a transition or not. If it is going to trigger a transition, then it has to go via release team, the feature freeze exceptions and all those things. So.
Oh, you want to change the subject?
No, I was just.
You want to ask more about seeds, or?
Yeah, I can ask more about seeds.
Yeah, go on.
So if you were to update a seed, what process would you go through to actually get that seed updated, and what sort of effect does that have?
Okay. So seeds are in a Launchpad Ubuntu seeds. So any change over there has to go through via March proposal. I am not sure. I have not worked with seeds before, and I think I will need to open a bug report for that, and then based on that, I need to raise a merge proposal to the Launchpad Git, and if that is approved, then it can be merged.
So just to fill you in, once the seed is updated, and you're correct about the merge proposal, that's always a good idea, especially if the change is contentious. Of course, you always merge proposal is a good idea. After that point, the seed that is modified, you would just download that meta package, and then there's an update script right in the meta package, and that pulls right from the seed. So that's the only thing that I think you were missing out of that. But
yeah, which I mentioned already in the application that I have not worked with seeds.
Right.
So
Yeah, no worries.
The details of those things, but I will like to work on them in future. So.
Okay. Thomas, do you have anything?
No. You said you had three.
You said you have them preempted.
I still need a few minutes.
Okay.
This happens frequently, that they end up with getting the questions before I do.
You said after the feature freeze, you need feature freeze exception for packages in main. So can I just upload all the stuff that I want to Universe at that stage?
No. I should not. The micro releases are okay. Micro releases which are bug fixes, those are okay. I should not upload anything which triggers a transition. So yeah, mostly bug fixes. Those should go in. Anything after feature freeze, anything in as I said before, anything in main and which is seeded, that should go via feature freeze exception.
How can you tell if an upload you're about to do is going to start a transition? What sort of things do you look for?
Main thing to look for is if it is a leaf package or not. If it is a leaf package, then it's okay. If it is a library, then the SO name change, SO name change. If there is a SO name change, it is bound to trigger a transition. But even then, I'll look for a diff to see if something has changed, because there had been some occasions in Debian where the SO name has not changed, but they have changed something in the API. So that has happened. So I'll generally look for the diff to see what the change is.
How would you handle a case where the ABI has changed in Ubuntu but not in Debian for it could be for various reasons, but let's say due to build flags being different, how would you handle that?
Handle that in the sense like
You want to take care of that transition in Ubuntu, but you can't. Yeah.
yeah, so if it has changed in Ubuntu, so that is the Ubuntu Delta now. So I will forward that to Debian, and I'll also forward that to upstream, so just to have their opinion about that, and if that is okay with them, that should also be merged in upstream, so that the Ubuntu Delta is reduced at a future release.
So yeah, in my hypothetical, we don't actually have a delta. It just happens that, let's say, a symbol disappeared because of compiler flags being different, and so it inlines something that it didn't used to.
It only in Ubuntu does not affect Debian.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I'm a bit lost. I don't understand the question.
So an
I'm all lost too.
GCC
So that
5.
will continue to be a Ubuntu Delta. You cannot change that, right? So the symbol. So the symbol which is missing, that will be part of the missing symbol, but that cannot be forwarded to Debian. So it will be part of Ubuntu. Okay. So you can't change that.
I'm good with that.
All right. Okay. I just didn't understand the scenario you were presenting.
Do you remember do you remember the GCC 5 transition?
No, I don't think I was involved.
Okay.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
All right.
Something in the toolchain changed, and which means some
The
symbol
symbol
changed in the
disappeared on rebuild.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but the Debian is still in the old toolchain.
Yeah.
So the symbol is still there in Debian.
Yeah.
Ubuntu, the symbol is missing.
Okay.
symbol has
So
changed.
you've accidentally broken ABI in some way.
Yeah.
In the new
But
release.
only in Ubuntu.
Only
so
in
not
Ubuntu.
Debian.
Of course, you need to verify if DPI is actually broken.
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, let's say you have a
template
bug
only.
report that tells you, hey, my binary is broken.
But then what? Like, okay, so we understand the situation.
Yeah, but I actually wanted, that's the kind of hard problems that we face, and that's the kind of hard problem that we face that has a core dev. We might not have the answer, but I just wanted to see, because we would get asked, how do I solve this? And I wanted to see how to push a little bit further to see how Sudip would navigate Debian versus Ubuntu, since he is a Debian developer.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay. So you weren't right. Fine.
has happened.
Yeah, fine. I didn't know what answer you were looking for either. Like, okay, so I understand the scenario you are presenting, and then what?
Hello. The meeting has started. You're welcome to join us.
Sorry, no scroll back.
I have still logged, so.
You can't read the scroll back. So
Go ahead
it's a
and
recording, so you can always vote later if you want to watch the replay.
please introduce yourself and give your IRC nick. Your
And join the camera.
That's too many things happening at once. Okay. Hello. I am Utkarsh, IRC nick Utkarsh 2102. I work for Canonical, and I've been working for 3.5 years. And I've been a core dev for 3 years as well. And I'm also part of the release team, so you might see me there, and the DMB for the last 2 terms. That's about me. Thank you.
You should also mention that your nick always changes from increments and decrements.
so just to catch you up, we are reviewing a core dev application for Sudip. Yeah. So if you have any questions for Sudip, we've already covered things like ABIs, transitions, that sort of thing, and feature freeze versus UI freeze. I'd say that's a gist of it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hope we actually achieve anything. It just moves.
I have one for you. Could you name 2 differences between Ubuntu and Debian's migration? So, I mean, in Ubuntu from proposed to release, and in Debian from unstable to testing.
So the differences in Debian, the unstable is a complete image by itself. So whenever I upload to unstable, that is, I can install that immediately, and that can be used as an image. In Ubuntu, the proposed is only a part image, or part image kind of thing, and it cannot be used by itself. It has to be used only with the with the current development image. And once I upload to proposed, it will go via. It has to migrate to the development channel development. Release, so only then can be used. And for migration, then it has to build on all the architectures. It has to pass the auto package test. It will see it can be all installed in all the places or not. The update excuse that those files will give all the details, like it is it can be installed or not, it if it has a missing binary and all those stuff.
Okay, I just had a quick question. So you mentioned update excuses. So that's where, if you've uploaded a package, you would see a package being listed there. If there are some problems, and you'll see the status. What if you don't see the status there? Like if your package hasn't migrated, and there's no apparent problem on update excuses, where will you look and how? And what should you do next?
So that will be so the update excuses. If it is not there in update excuses, then update output.txt. There is a file update output.txt which will give the details of why it's missing, and it's a bit of cryptic, but I have the link which explains how to read that update output.txt. So I can share the link if you want. So I have not. I have used it only once because one of my upload to Universe, it was not migrating, and I had to use it only once just to check that I had a missing binary, and another package was depending on that missing binary, and that is why it was not updating. But so that is why how I used only once. I never got the chance to use it after that.
If I can I complete the I'm happy with your answer, to be clear, right? Being able to point to the documentation is a key part of it, but the key thing that update output.txt is telling you is there's an installability check that's happening. So if that package were to migrate, then if overall that results in more packages that are uninstallable than previous, that's when it will refuse to migrate. So what it's actually telling you is, for a given architecture, these are the packages that would become uninstallable if the package were to migrate. That's the key to that text file.
Yeah, and which is what I tried to say in my answer, that when for one of my package upload, it refused to migrate because the another package was depending on this binary, and that will now become uninstallable because if this migrates. So that is what I was trying to explain in my answer also.
Yeah,
Thanks for that.
You got it. I'm just trying to identify the key thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to point out that is how you would arrive there, but what the text file contains is exactly the fact of what became uninstallable. I'm only saying it for everyone's benefit. It's not that I think you answered it wrong.
I have another question.
So if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, what would you do if the update txt file doesn't tell you what's...
So what if update... Okay, you can repeat your question.
So, what if you look at update txt and it has no entry for your package? Doesn't say anything about the package. Yeah.
No, I have never. No, I'm sorry, no.
So going down the rabbit hole, Brittany runs only on a regular schedule, so you might need to wait for the next run to finish.
Yep. I was trying to make a joke there.
Yeah, do you want a hint?
Yeah, look at it.
Okay.
Even if Brittany runs and fails to do it, then you might need to add a hint to Brittany. Joke completely fails.
Okay. Yeah, and if...
You need to do better.
Okay. Next time I'll leave it to you.
So I have a question. Since you're going to be a core dev at some point, what happens if you want to upload something to main, let's say, and that is something your fellow core dev does not agree with. Like, let's say you have a patch in mind that you want to upload to an X package. What if another fellow core dev says, "Oh no, I have a strong opinion as to not do it," right? And you have a strong opinion of, yes, we need to do it. What happens then? Like, how would you go about resolving this? You have, yeah.
I will try to start a discussion first on Ubuntu Devel IRC and mailing list. If that still is unresolved over there, then I might have to go for the technical board. But that's the last resort. But before that, I will try to solve it via IRC or mailing list. That's the ultimate, I'll say.
I mean, Ubuntu Develop is also valid,
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm very happy with that answer, to be clear. The main thing is that people understand the that there is a decision to be made, and it's not just like somebody arbitrary is a maintainer or anything like that. The one thing that might be relevant in the middle is to speak to if there is an obvious Ubuntu team that is relevant for that particular package, then we would want to maybe weigh their opinion quite heavily. So if it's systemd, then the Ubuntu Foundations team would be relevant. If it's like bind, then maybe the Ubuntu server team would be relevant, etc. But if you're right that if we still can't reach a resolution, then the technical board is the point of escalation.
Let's say you're looking at a merge from a Debian version, a specific Debian version. You look at this and you say, this is unnecessary, we don't need to merge that. How would you communicate that to other Ubuntu developers in an effective way? Multiple answers to that.
So I will prefer to do a Git Ubuntu style merge over there, and I'll raise the merge proposal and I'll tag that particular team who is handling that package for that merge proposal and ask them to review that.
Let's assume you make that decision, that you say this isn't necessary Ubuntu or it should be merged. Let's say you make that decision. For example, there's a Debian upload that just updates something trivial like the man page, and it's not worth merging because the delta is pretty huge. How would you? Is there a way that you can hint track what the status of that merge is and communicate that?
The merge means I can check the merge status in the merges page, the merges.ubuntu. That one. But yeah, for handling that, if I want to drop that, then I have to sync it. So if I sync the package, then the Ubuntu Delta will be dropped. But then if like I said before, if it is some other team handling the package, which we said before, if it is some other team handling that package, then I like to have a discussion with that particular team just to have a sync between us before syncing the package or before uploading to Ubuntu and dropping the Delta.
Sure. So this could be my question, but the answer I was sort of looking to see, there is a comment section on Merge-O-Matic, and there's a couple of merges. For example, if you look at the main page at the top, there's a couple of merges that are labeled like "Don't touch." So yeah, if you were to look at a package and say this isn't something that's necessary, like I gave the example of you have a huge Ubuntu Delta and Debian only doesn't upload to like add a man page or fix a spelling mistake or something, then you could indicate on that Merge-O-Matic page, hey, this version isn't really necessary, and there's a couple examples of that in there. So, I mean, discussing it with relevant maintainers, I'll take that as a correct response.
One comment about the comment on Merge-O-Matic. If you say it's not needed to be merged, then also please specify which version. Because if you write it once and then there are multiple uploads in Debian, then that comment is not right anymore.
Yeah, we've got about just under 20 minutes left.
For what it's worth, I'm ready to vote.
Yeah, I think I'm basically ready.
Thomas, you ready? Cool. Are you both ready to vote?
Are there any comments? Because normally we would vote and maybe make a comment.
Okay.
How do we want to do that here?
Do we want to go down the line?
I think we could do maybe I think we could do a hand raised vote and then just comment
If
on
we
the
want
line.
to.
Well, you could just keep saying +1 and then your comment directly
I
after.
can just that one in and say agreed or not agreed, and if agreed, why? If not agreed, why?
Just start from there.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add to your application before we vote?
Please accept.
I can only say that this was not planned, so I don't have the or enough endorsements, which I already mentioned over here, and like, so thanks to everyone for endorsing on the live over here. That's it.
Oh, I had one question. This question isn't for Sudeep. I think it's for Simon. I think the endorsement from Graham, was that clearly an endorsement for core dev?
Yes.
So
knew
he
it
was
for core dev,
essentially saying,
and he
this is
basically said-
I endorse Sudeep for core dev, and please see my Motu
Yeah.
endorsement. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think that's important to be clear about.
We'll start with you. Go ahead and just give your vote, and then reason why.
+1. I think you do great work. I've seen you active on various channels, and that's really nice. And I hope you continue to be active. Please ask if at any point you feel like you're not certain with anything you're uploading, Ubuntu Devil or whatever IRC channel. So ask away as many times, and yeah, thanks for all your work, and I hope you stick around. And thanks.
So +1 from my side as well. I looked that up. I sponsored some stuff for you as well, and it was without problem, so I already forgot that I did that, so that's a good sign. And I think I don't have to add anything there.
+1. I know I endorsed you for Motu. I think you do great work, and yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to see some more uploads from you. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, and the endorsements you have, solid. So
+1 from me. I have quite a lot to say though.
Take your time.
Because, right, so we're doing it in a different form from what we normally do. And I think it's important that others who follow understand where they stand with where we are, right? So I wanted to mention a few things which I think are maybe a little bit weak on the application, and I want other observers to understand why I think that's okay in this particular case. But the things that you were strong at first. So I think you answered all the questions very well. And sometimes in these interviews, and yes, they're on IRC, alarm bells start to ring in the answers from people because they suggest some level of lack of understanding of the underlying thing. On the other hand, your answers, while you might not have given a model answer for everything, what you did say was accurate, and then the only thing that remains is like, did you see exactly what we were asking or not? And that's not material, right? So that's why I think that part's fine. Weaknesses, I would have expected to see more endorsements. In particular, in relation to recent uploads that you've done. So, or people who have endorsed you. So it's good that Lena and Graham have been able to speak to it. And I also see Simon is right here, and he's sponsored some of your stuff recently, so that's also good. But I would be curious as to what some of the other people who have sponsored you would have to say about it. I value that, and that wasn't here. But in mitigation, you're a prolific uploader who I think everybody here has seen you do. Like, we have all witnessed it. So that actually means that like we are all aware of the work that you're doing, and that I guess means that there's not as much need to see those endorsements. Similarly, I would have liked to see some kind of seed or transition activity that, or MIRs that transitions you've done. Okay, but you have acknowledged that those aren't. You haven't covered those. But we asked about seeds. You seem to know what they are and how to work and how to ask the questions. So again, I think that's probably okay, especially because I was looking at your recent uploads and you are being blocked from making uploads to main that look like good work, and that's the key kind of differentiating factor as to why we should care to try and unblock you. So yeah, +1, and please carry on with the prolific contributions, and we very much appreciate them. Thank you.
So +1 from me. Basically, most what was already said or by everyone here. So I just want to add my thanks, because I think pretty much everybody who's done patch pilots has uploaded some of your work. And I don't think anybody has ever had any complaints. The few packages I've uploaded were of excellent quality, and the answers you've given me here, as well as what I've seen on IRC, on Ubuntu Devil and Ubuntu Release, give me confidence that what you don't already know, you will feel very free to ask, and yeah, listen to the answers. So yeah, wholeheartedly thank you.
+1 as well for me. Unfortunately, I have no other comments because they've all commented them all. But I do want to see you continue to contribute. And again, as I said to everyone who we approve, if you have any questions, you need help on something, feel free to reach out to someone who's been working on that before, because we want to help you succeed as well.
The action is therefore carried. Welcome to Court F. I can do the trivial thing of adding him to the Launchpad team, but if you want to do the announcement, that would be great. Awesome, thank you.
I can't do anything, my Wi-Fi is dropped.
Any other business?
How did this go? Do we want to try and do it again in the next opportunity as a regular thing?
Only if it's decided in advance and not like, just 1 hour before. It's like, oh, hey, we're doing this. So it'd be nice if you can make. Yes. So as long as we discuss, we are going to do this. I think it's great. We should. There's lots of community people who are here who can participate. So I think it's great. But we should just slot out a time, dedicate a time much before, and we know that this is going to happen.
We might struggle to get a room as well. So
it was last moment.
I don't really know, but there were sessions that were turned down, right? So if we try to, we'll talk to the summit organisers and see what we can do.
Okay. Sudip, anything you'd like to say? Any other words? Okay.
Any beers you'd like to just buy?
No, where's the money?
All right. 10 for AOB. 10? 9?
Do we have any? I do remember there were some kernel. 2 things. First of all, the discussion you had with other DMB members of Canonical about what we do for core packages like Cloud Init and other things. Do we have a consent? Do we know where we're going with that? That's the first. And the second is there's some kernel GKMS stuff that needs to be added to the package set. I'm happy to do that, but that's been there for a while. And third, most importantly, is Ubuntu is still looking for somebody to do the work so that their packages can be added to the package set that they are seated in already in Ubuntu. And I think we should do that. Somebody should do that on priority because it's a long outstanding item.
I will take the Ubuntu action item.
Just be careful about what you're getting yourself in for.
Believe me, I know.
Because it's the automated package set management for all the flavors that's needs attention.
Okay.
You if you want, you can resolve the Ubuntu thing by hand, and kick that can down the road. But the thing that needs sorting is that automatic script. Also, the automatic script for people watching, it's not a DMB. It doesn't have to be a DMB member who sorts out the script. It can be anybody. The DMB will have to review it and run it.
Mhm.
But if somebody wants to sit down and figure that out, that would be great. If you want to take it on, then sure. I just wanted to be clear that you understand what the request is.
The enablement is for a code application.
I mean,
Just make sure
if somebody manages to do that script, right, and then they come to the DMB and say, I understand seeds, I think we would all agree. So,
So in case you want to avoid question about seeds, you need to do some coding work.
So I mean, just make sure that if you're going to take this, you don't neglect your Ubuntu duties.
I'll add it to my to-do list. So you said the DKMS packages, that's an older item. Would you be willing to take that?
Sure.
Okay.
sorry, I'm going to have comments on all of these things.
Go ahead.
So the DKMS thing, is that the thing that I was saying? We had a discussion where like the DKMS package set probably shouldn't include packages that aren't DKMS packages.
Correct.
And then similarly, the kernel package set should not include packages that are not kernel packages.
Right.
And so we might need a new package set or PPU for that. That's the thing that you want to resolve?
That partly, but there is yeah, we need more mics. Yes, that partly, but also there's this request from Timo on the mailing list saying, hey, can you please add it to either DKMS packet set or the kernel packet set? So somebody, now me, should take a look at it and then and then figure out if it should go there, then just add it, or else push back, not push back, but just say that hey, this needs more work.
So I fairly strongly think that if it's not a kernel, it should not be in the kernel package set, and if it's not DKMS, it should not be in the DKMS package set. Otherwise, what happens is when somebody in the future applies for the DKMS package set, and it contains non-DKMS packages, we've raised the bar by accident for them to be able to be granted that. So we need to stick to the definitions, but that means that we need to take it out and have a separate thing for those. Well, it needs to be coordinated because we'll be breaking someone's upload access. That's the catch. And then we need to decide if they need PPU for the things that they've requested, then ask them to make a PPU application, resolve that, and then take it out of the DKMS package set. That's, I mean, I don't know about the specifics. You might find that something else is appropriate, but I hope that explains the...
Can I do #undo of the action item just
But that's what I think needs resolving there. And if we don't resolve it right, then it creates problems for future people. So that's why I think it's important. What was the third topic?
The first, which was your discussion with during the...
Oh, okay, right. So I am not sure we have consensus on there. The thread remains open. This might be an opportunity to speak about it now. I will say that there was a so the reason that is being raised is because there are teams inside Canonical who want to be able to upload those particular packages, who want to know what to do. And there was a brief discussion within Canonical about that in this past week, about what we should do about it. I'm going to try and relay a couple of outcomes of that, which is just people's opinions that I'm trying to relay. So my opinion is in the list, but my opinion is that there definitely exists packages for which PPU is inappropriate, and I think that the correct thing to do is to require those to be restricted to core devs, and the correct thing to do for people who need to upload those packages is help them become core devs with a wide range of experience, because I'm not confident about aspects of the packaging that they might end up touching in future unless they have a wide range of experience. And if they have that wide range of experience, then we have a system for that, that's core dev.
Just so I understand, you mean to say cloud init should not be a PPU CPU, but should be a core dev thing, which means people who have PPU should know that.
For Cloud init is in a slightly So Cloud init is in a slightly weird place because what I'm bothered about is somebody who gets PPU for a package doesn't have the wide experience to recognize the right way to solve a problem and solves a problem in the wrong way in that package. So like I trust that they will know to ask questions, but do they know to ask questions, or is it that they think they know what they're doing and fail to ask the question? That's the problem. In the case of Cloud init, or that's a potential problem. In the case of Cloud init is the same source for all releases, and so Cloud init doesn't really get through unless the SRU team also hack it, and all the SRU team are core devs. So therefore, Cloud init PPU isn't a practical problem because it has to go through that SRU review. And in practice, what we do is before a Cloud init upload happens, the SRU pre-review happens from the SRU team.
But that's the mitigation the problem is still there. It's just being mitigated in different ways.
Yes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, so
But what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, in principle, I would put Cloud init in the set of packages which would only require core dev. In practice, it's not a problem right now. So if you want to be pragmatic, we can ignore Cloud init, let the PPU continue for Cloud init, and it's okay. I just don't want to introduce this for other packages like Grub. That's my opinion. Steve's opinion, because he was in that conversation, and Steve is a tech board member, so we should pay attention to that, right? Steve's opinion was glibc is an example of a package which should never be PPU'd, and you should be core dev to upload. But he's not sure about Grub, but he's not too precious about Grub because in his opinion, most people who should be uploading Grub should, in canonical at least, should be core devs anyway. But he agreed with then there is a class of packages for which PPU is inappropriate, and he's not precious about pushing on that question for Grub. But then the only question that remains between me and him, at least, is which of the packages. Right. So, but then anyway, I wanted to relay those two things. We don't have consensus on the DMB. It's ultimately the DMB's decision. We don't have consensus amongst this.
Okay.
I don't know how much time we have now, but.
None, but I have
Kind of done.
Yeah, but I still have one more important thing to speak about. Go ahead. So I think Chris is here. Hey. And we did do Chris's application, but people from DMB did not vote on that yet. It's been 1.5 months, and I don't think that looks good on us. I think we should prioritize. If you're asking people, if you're telling people that, hey, we're going to vote on your application, I think we should prioritize that and do it as soon as possible. But that's not the point. The point is, what do we do now? Like, at this point, it stands on 0.
I think it cannot now reach a quorum to a passed motion, I believe.
Right, so it's +2 -2, right?
So it's now possible.
Correct. So, do they have a time, like, do they have an estimate on how much time they should, like, so there were, all the -1s were followed by a reason. Do we have any time constraint on when they should reapply? I think you're going to reapply in December.
We don't have any constraints. We've never historically had any constraints.
Yes, so if they...
Resolve the matters that were raised, but apart from that, sure, whenever. And also, please be considerate of other people who are also in the queue, or would like to join the queue. But it's all subjective. Would love to see you again and get that +1 in.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we end it here?
Any other business?
No, we're actually over on time.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming, and congratulations again to SUDIP. This concludes the Ubuntu Developer Membership Board meeting. Huge thanks to Noah Chalaya for the audio equipment and setting it up last minute. So, thank you.